All right, everyone, welcome to the afternoon stream here. Gonna be streaming probably until 3:30, maybe into the end of the day, just depends. Gonna be concentrating on this Apex account this afternoon. As you can see, we are down $80 in that account. Still up 566 in the Top Step account. Don't know that I'll be trading that. If you're unfamiliar with how this is set up here, the left side here we have the ES, and on the right side we have the NQ for the Nasdaq. So just going to be looking for a decent setup here to enter on either. Actually kind of getting a breakout here on the ES. If we can just push above this SMA, might could take a trade up into that 3,200 level here. We are going into the top of the hour, so this might be a little of a risky trade. Thinking if we break 91, kind of need the Nasdaq to move with it though. Let's take a look here. I mean, we are 5 minutes from the top of the hour, so that's the only real thing that's keeping me from just putting this order here and seeing if we could make a new high. Could just ride it from 91 to 96, play it safe for 5 handles, but kind of failing there, so could still break out. All right, got to get a couple of more things pulled up here before we're completely 100% ready to go. Let me check this right quick just to make sure we got some audio. All right, seems like we do. Seems like we have some audio. All right, still watching the ES here. See if we get this possible breakout. Need that Nasdaq to move above that 20 SMA really to feel a little more comfortable about it, but if we break through the 91 level here, then we may go ahead and take this entry. Just put our stop. Trying to see what the risk is here. Still struggling to kind of get through there. Still struggling, but maybe it'll make it through there here. Not really a whole lot of momentum on this push up here. Okay, we got the, let's see. There we go. Looks like we touched 91 there. All right, let's go ahead and take it. It's going to look for that 96 level there for 5 handles. One contract here. Going to risk 4 handles. It's $200. Might have got in a little too soon there, but let's give it a chance, see what happens. Give it a chance, see what happens. You never know. Moving back up to the 91. The Nasdaq, like I said, it's been kind of lagging the ES all day. You can see the ES broke out of these highs here. The Nasdaq never really pierced the highs from this morning. So if we get the Nasdaq moving up here pretty strong above the 20 SMA here, I think we can get this move up to the 96, possible to the 4300 by the end of the day here. 2 o'clock hours coming up. All right, Nasdaq trying to push above the 20 SMA there, kind of pushing up and getting the ES to push up with it here. Just need the Nasdaq to get a little more momentum, push through that SMA there. To kind of get us going here. Trying to give this the time it needs this afternoon to kind of get this move up. We really need to hold that SMA area. If we don't hold it, I might scratch the trade and just look for a better entry. Sorry about my dog barking there. And let's see. Kind of rejecting that area, but we need to get through here, see if we can push through. All right, I need to go here soon, or I may just go ahead and scratch this trade and look for a better entry. I think I'm going to go ahead and move to break even here, and if it stops me, there, it stopped me out. I'm just going to look for a better entry. Just not enough momentum here. Probably a bit too soon trying to get in on that. And you know how it usually works. As soon as I exit the trade, it will go. Come on, really? All right.
Order filled.
We'll get back in then. Of course, I entered on a chart that doesn't have my... Is that my bracket order turned on, or did it not? Okay, it did, yeah. All right, hold on a second. Trying to get this fixed here. All right, let's see if we can get this fixed.
Stop filled.
Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of a little frazzled there. All right, let's get this the way we want it. Okay. All right. Nasdaq kind of pushed above that 20 SMA, so I do like that. If it can hold that there, then this should push the ES on up. It's pulling back below the SMA now. It's not really the volatility we were looking for there. Max, come on, man. All right, I'm just going to take that one off. I don't like how it's pulling back there. Look for a better trade, a little better entry. Just trying to get that pushed through, just riding momentum, but the dollar spiked up here, pushing us back down. Nasdaq's actually selling off pretty good too.
Order filled.
What in the world's going on with my stops? Why are there no stops? I mean, it says stop there. I have no idea what's going on here. Alright, well, let's put our 67, 77. What in the world is going on here? I don't know what is going on, but this is not allowing me to put anything on here. I have no clue. Let's see if I can do it over here on this other chart. Not working.
Order filled.
Okay, I don't know what's going on there. That something was not right there. It exited me out of the trade when I was just trying to put a buy stop limit on the chart. I did not exit that trade. I was looking for the VWAP here, and of course there it goes. What in the world was going on there? I mean, I never pressed the exit button there. I mean, at least it didn't exit us in the red, but that's frustrating. We only took $100 on that trade. It's not even showing up over here for whatever reason. Well, that might be why. So I guess somehow that's turned off. Fields and orders, price levels, current position. Okay, so maybe that's what it was. I'm not sure. Maybe the orders were there and I didn't know. So it must have filled me for the profit order that I put on the screen. I'm assuming that might have been what happened. At any rate, we're pretty much back to where we started at the start of the stream here, down $67. So ES pulling back here. Pulled back to the VWAP, kind of bounced in that area. And just notice there's nothing on this chart either. We have the 20 simple moving average, but why is the so strange stuff not showing up on my charts? I mean, are we that far away from the VWAP? Is it down here? Oh, I guess it is. Never mind. It is on there. We're just a long ways away from it. All right, so we're between 2 and 3 p.m. here, and you know, looking for this ICT silver bullet from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. typically will form. So I'm going to try to pay attention for that possibility. See where this next pivot is on the Nasdaq. It's down there quite a ways, so it's not really in play at this point. Next pivot to the downside on the ES is 42.77. So that is a possibility. Dollar kind of leveling off there. I think we kind of need to hold this 90. Let's see, is it 90? Excuse me. Still got a hold of something. What do you got? What that is. He will chew on anything, that's for sure. Yeah, I think we need to hold this 90 level to continue this move up. I guess we could trade back into the kind of 73, 82, 85. Yeah. Could trade back into that 82, 85 level, which is kind of where we just did. That was our target earlier for the move up. So this could be our, this could be kind of a bounce zone here. Kind of a bounce zone possible. Could also sell off. Let's just watch it and see what we get. Trading back up into the fair value gap now. You can see we got to shift the market structure to the downside here. So we broke this swing low, created a fair value gap. So, I mean, technically, trade back up into it, we could take a short for the move down. But on the larger time frame, we're trading into a 15-minute fair value gap. Let's go ahead and mark that out right quick on this chart, just so we have it. So we are aware of it. We have one here. Let's mark that out in green. So we're trading right into that 15-minute fair value. Yeah, fair value gap there. Let's make sure I was on the right chart. Trying to keep up with both indices sometimes, you know, gets a little crazy here. So anyways, back to the 3-minute chart. You can see we traded into that 15-minute bullish fair value gap. We did not break it, so this fair value gap is still valid. So that's something we have to kind of be aware of. The gaps on the larger time frames tend to be respected a little more. than the ones on the lower time frames. But with the silver bullet method, you are looking for a fair value gap to be created after 2 p.m. And that's what happened here. Excuse me. So if we break through this fair value gap here and kind of invalidate it at that point, I may be looking to take a short. That looks like 82. Could possibly take a short from 83 down to 77. Get 5 or 6 handles there. Nasdaq approaching the VWAP here. See what happens. Let's see here on the Nasdaq. I mean, we've been in this huge fair value gap, you know, in this range. So really, to break out of this range, you got to kind of get below the VWAP, and you might can have a, you know, if you can get through this next gap in here in the 40 area, you might have a quick sell-off down to the 1500s. Remains to be seen, though. We'll just wait and see what the price offers us. That's all we can do. That is all we can do. Whatever price offers, we take. Sometimes we take when we shouldn't. That might happen more often than we're willing to admit, but that's okay. It's okay. Still respecting that 15-minute fair value gap from earlier. I don't know if there's a way. Is there a way for me to put text on these gaps? I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think so. I was just wondering. I know in TradingView you could put, you know, some text in here. Just kind of outline what it is. That is the 15-minute bullish fair value gap that we've been talking about for the last few minutes. ES is looking weak here, a little weaker than the Nasdaq. Like I said, the Nasdaq's been kind of lagging behind all day, though. You can see the ES kind of making a move up. Nasdaq's just kind of ranging. Got a bit of a breakout on the ES earlier, right here. We were ranging here as well, and then we got that breakout there. So, like I said, if we trade through this gap, then we'll probably take a short targeting this swing low here. It's kind of the plan here. Hey, Jackson and Jack. Not doing very good yet, Jackson. We are still down on this Apex account. So, gotta get that move up on the P&L. As long as we hold this fair value gap here, there's not really much to do. I mean, if we bounce and move up and we break this gap, then we could consider a long towards high a day, which is what we were looking for earlier and didn't get. But I don't know. Kind of feels like we might sell off here. We have made a pretty large move. NQ is up 86 points on the day. And ES is up 57 points on the day. That's actually a very large move for the ES. It is Friday, second day of the month. So I think 6 of the last 8 Thursdays and Fridays we've had made large moves on the ES and the NQ. So NQ holding up right there at the VWAP. You can see it kind of stopped in its tracks right there at this swing low here, which happens to be right there in the middle of a fair value gap. So let's see what happens here. It looks like we're trying to move up out of this gap. Yeah, I guess on the 15-minute chart on the NQ, there is also a gap there as well. I guess we can mark that out. Doesn't hurt. Let me do it over here where you guys can see it. All right, trading out of that gap. Let's mark this out here while we're kind of waiting on something to happen. Just trying to do it now. So kind of paying attention to this area. See if price respects it. Looks like it is so far. Nothing to do here on the Nasdaq. Maybe if we break above 92, we might be able to look for a long at that point. Let's see here. So yeah, 42.73 is going to be major support here on the ES. We don't hold that 73. All right, let's see what we get. Pushing back up here on the ES as well as the Nasdaq, trying to get above this 20 SMA. Break above the 20 SMA here, we may be able to take a long. Possible. Could have actually gotten long at the breakout of the fair value gap there, but we didn't take it. So there you go. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Helps the channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, ES trying to make a move up here. It's working on its own 3-minute fair value gap here. If it can kind of break through this area a little bit. Let me see on the 1-minute chart. So technically we've broken structure already on the 1-minute chart, but I don't usually trust those quite as much. Working on a small fair value gap there. Looks like it's gonna got 20 seconds left on this candle, so it's probably gonna close there. So what we'd like to see here is maybe for price to trade back into this gap, gap here, for us to take an entry long. So at this point, we can go ahead and put us a order on the book. And let's just wait and see if it comes back and tags us in. So stop was going to be just below, one tick below that low that created the gap. So risking 3 handles on this trade if we get tagged in 150, and we will target that swing high there. We could even move it up to the high day, but this will give us more than our 5 handles. Actually, you know, since that swing high is so close, we could just move it just above high day and just watch it from there. Been bullish all day, so I trust this type of setup a little more than I do that short that we were kind of working on there. Short didn't really make all that much. You know, it's just too easy for it to go the other way. We've been bullish all day. So now this still could be on the wrong side here. You know, we could get tagged in and it stop us out, but so far, I like the way this setup looks. I mean, obviously, if we break this swing high before we come back and tag me in, then I don't know how much I'd love it then. But I guess it'd be fine as long as this liquidity was still resting here, since they're so close. They're relatively equal highs, you know, 1 point away from each other. So I wouldn't hate it. Just kind of waiting and watching. See if we get tagged in. Let's see, 226 here. Let's check this and see what we got. Not so far away from this that it won't tag us in. I mean, hopefully it will come back and touch us, tag us in. Looks like we might get tagged in here momentarily. Going to put on some music. Can't really listen to it. Need to push here. Once we get tagged in here, it'd be nice. All right, might get tagged in here. It's like 1 tick, maybe 2 ticks away from our entry. All right, coming back down towards our entry here, if we can just get tagged in. Not going to mark it in, not going to move it up. It either tags us in here where we need to get in, or it doesn't tag us in. one way or the other. Not going to move it. So. Well, although technically, no, I have it right at the right spot. I was thinking for a second I had it in the wrong spot, but I actually don't. I have it at the right spot. Bouncing here, trying to go without us, but probably will come back here and enter this gap for us, tag us in. Close enough. Still not wanting to come back and tag us in, so we're just going to be patient, not going to enter where I'm not supposed to, so. Kind of see the similar setup here on the Nasdaq, but it didn't get back into this fair value gap either. So I just want to be patient with it. Don't force the trade. Not going to force the trade here. It either trades back and tags us in or it doesn't. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I was looking on the smaller time frames. 1 minute, still didn't trade back into the fair value gap. 2 minute, still didn't make it. 5 minute, didn't quite make it. So like I said, if we take out the swing high or the high a day, then I don't know if I might scratch this entry at that point. But as long as we don't take out these levels, then I'm okay with leaving this order right here on the book. We were so close to getting tagged in there. Literally one tick away. I mean, you can see. We were one tick away from getting filled. That's what happens sometimes when you put your order on there and you just, that's the entry we're looking for. And all right, we might take a trade on the Nasdaq if we break this swing high here. I'd like to get a pullback here. I mean, you could, excuse me, you could make an argument for entering right off the 15-minute fair value gap. But in general, you like to see how price reacts to that area and then enter off that. Hold on a second. We are getting we're working on another fair value gap here a little higher up. Let's see how this candle closes on the 2-minute. I would like to, I would like to have my entry back here at the 88, obviously, but it may not make it to the 88. We got a bit of an order block here with the fair value gap. We could enter off that. It's a little more risky. We might do that. Let's see here. Let's see how this reacts. Let's see if it comes back and tags us in at 88, or if it can actually move through this area. Might bounce off this 89.50, but let's take a look and see here. All right, we're going to go ahead and take it. We're just taking entry, should have been entering at the 89.50 at worst, so we're a bit higher than I like to be, but that's okay. See if we end up on the right side of this trade here. I hate that I don't trust my instinct sometimes when it trades back into certain areas, but it's something I'm kind of working on. Trying to decide where to put my take profit at. I mean, I believe this is going to move higher than where it's currently at, but let's look at a couple of more things. I mean, I feel like we're going to move up to 4,300 to be honest, but Nasdaq trying to push up here too. All right, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop to break even. I know based on the rules I'm not supposed to here, but just having this worse entry than I have, I don't want to lose money on this trade. Needed to break this 93.25 level. A little bit of volatility there. A little bit of volatility. Needs to move on up here. Break through this 93.25 level here and continue higher. Nasdaq's trying. Again, I don't love my entry on this trade. Should be in, at the very worst, I should be long from about the 90 or 89.50. Try to get this push through here. Get back into the green if we can get it. Well, looks like we might get stopped. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just take it off there. It kind of dropped right when I hit the sell button. Just going to lock in $37 on that trade. Not liking how the NQ is just struggling to break this swing high. It really should be moving through here with much more conviction. Like I said, based on the ICT silver bullet setup between 2 and 3 p.m., the gap is formed and the gap is here. This should pull back into this gap. This is where we should be looking for an entry between 2 and 3. So let's just be patient. I felt like I was chasing that trade there, was uncomfortable with it. So I'm just going to be patient. If it trades back into that gap, we will take the entry. So this is the idea. Let's trade back into the 88 and let's take the entry long. I'm okay with it breaking this swing high, but I don't want it to make a new high a day. And if it does, we still may take it. So right now it's kind of double topping right here at this this level. So down $32 right now. Could have taken that off and been even or even up a few bucks, but I was trying to let the trade work out. If we had broke through that level here, I would have felt much better about it, but we just were not getting through that level. And so to me, it's kind of indicative of a possible pullback. You don't want to really leave those relatively equal highs. I think we'll come back and take those out at some point this afternoon. Also can look at the Nasdaq. Possibly pulling back into that area too. May not happen right now, but, we'll see. All right, looks like it's going to break that swing high possibly. That will be a confirmation of a market structure shift. Even though technically we already have one. Let's give you a little more confirmation there. Didn't quite break it yet. But like I said, we don't really need it to break that swing high. It's already a market structure shift anyway. It's okay if it does break it. The ES is definitely front running the NQ today. You can see the NQ is just looking much weaker. Much weaker. Double bottom, triple bottom here on the NQ. Yeah, if NQ can just start going, then it's definitely going to give the ES what it needs to kind of make that higher move. I think if we get above 14,600 here on the NQ, then ES breaks that 4,300 level. But right now, just hanging out at the top here. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button for me, subscribe, share the video, comment. Helps the channel out. We appreciate it. All right, ES trying to get this push through here. Trying his hardest. Let's see here. Okay, so it broke that swing. Well, it still didn't break it quite yet. It ticked it. Trying to push through here. I'd like for it to kind of come back down to my to that fair value gap down there. But all right, it broke that swing high now. Going for the high of day again. Nasdaq's also breaking its swing high. Like I said, if we get I maybe feel more comfortable taking a trade here on the NQ to get this pushed through 600. Just made a new high there on the ES. Let's see about getting this pushed through the 600, maybe to the 605, to these relatively equal highs here. Don't want to rush it though, because if the ES starts pulling back, the Nasdaq's most definitely going to go with it. So just try to be patient with it here and see if we can't get it. NQ back down to the 90. Nasdaq pulling back to the 93. Oh, I'm sorry, ES pulling back to the 93. ES made that new high there. Nasdaq has a ways to go. I think the high is all the way up to 27. Yeah, 16,220 or 520, 627. All right, trying to push back through here. Might take an entry long here. We'll see here on the Nasdaq. Let's look at it and see. Just kind of watching this 90 level here. Oh my goodness. So I took a long here, and as you can see, it's not showing my entry here. Or is it? No, it is. It's just not showing on this chart for whatever reason. I don't know why it's not showing on this chart over here that I'm looking at on the other screen. All right, risking down to 85. It's just below that. Trying to see here where it needs to be. Yeah, 85 and a quarter is one tick below the fair value gap on the 1 minute chart. So want to get this overshoot. Want ES to break through the 95s there and possibly push the Nasdaq up 4 or 5 points over the 600 level there. Looking for that 604.75. Might just get straight rejected here, though. Going to pull back here. Might stop us out. I almost want to give this a little more room, but not going to. We'll just eat the loss there. It rejected. Kind of thought it might blast through there, and it just didn't. Didn't have the steam that it needed. One of the things that I've noticed that I do when I take momentum trades, like that would be, that's just strictly a momentum play, I tend to get stopped out. That's where my losses come in. When I'm taking an actual setup, I have much fewer losses. Got a volume imbalance here on the 3-minute chart for the ES. Got about 9 minutes before 3 o'clock hour. Let's see if we can get a trade back into the one of those lower fair value gaps. Looks like Nasdaq's wanting to push through there, but might have should have gave that trade a little more room. I thought about it, but I decided ultimately not to. All right, we might be asking for punishment here, but we may give this one more go. All right, let's see what goes on here. I'm gonna go ahead and move to break even here. I'm just not. I don't know. I'm not gonna trust that trade. I didn't like that there. I'm buying the top. Buying right there at that. I just feel like it's gonna pull back here. I don't know. I just got this feeling that we're probably gonna have a pullback. Just rejected there, so that was a good kill on my part. Recognized I was entering a bad trade and just took it off. Got about 6 minutes left here. Should get a pullback, maybe right here before 3 o'clock. I'd like to see a nice pullback. Like I said, all the way back into this 88 area would be nice. You know, like I said, the ICT Silver Bullet is it's a timed setup. So it doesn't mean you can't use another fair value gap or whatever entry after those hours. It's just the time that it typically happens on the daily basis. Got about 4 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. These 15-minute candles here are looking pretty pitiful. They are just very, very tiny, big wick on top, and small body. So this might be this pullback that we're kind of looking for here. See if we can get this pullback into the level that we're looking for. It's wanting to. See if you can do it. You can make it. Now the question is, do we take it on the NQ or do we take it on the ES if it gives us our entry? I mean, I guess we do have the order block here, and usually if the order block holds, it would be kind of like a midway point. So you're looking at 89.50. So if we bounce off 89.50 again, I'm going to take that entry. Could take an entry at 89.50. Prefer the entry at 88. So let's see what price action offers us here. So kind of eyeballing this area, 89.50, 90 area for a possible entry long for this move back up. ES and the NQ both bouncing off the SMA there. 3 minutes left until 3 p.m. See if we can't get this pullback deep enough for us to get an entry. It just bounced right off of the top of that breaker block and just ripped back up. I guess I could have took the entry off the break. And actually this one, I just noticed NQ traded back into the breaker block. Oh, man. Why did I not see that? Wasn't looking. All right, I'm going to take a long here. We're still close enough to that breaker or to that real entry should have been 80, 78. So I'm in at 84. See if we get this move through that 600 level. Really, Let's see. Get this move up here. All right, I'm going to be at break even here. We broke $100 in profit there, so we're going to go to break even. Well, $20, and then let's just leave it there. Really like to get this move all the way back through to this 605 level. You see, we got relatively equal highs resting here at the 605, so there's going to be some liquidity here. So if we kind of lose momentum once we get up to this 97 area, I may kill the trade. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and trail my stop up here. Trailing my stop up. Stops at 94. Oh, man, I should have put it at 95. Only down $11 on the day now, but $200 ripper on that. That's just kind of a, it's a pretty clear trade there. Traded back into this breaker block. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep calling it a breaker block. That's an order block. ES also traded into this order block. These are both entries. Order block above a fair value gap. So they're a little more risky of an entry, but they're valid entries. I would expect this to maybe come out and take out the 605 level. It's going to go without me probably, but I'm okay with that. So we're down $11 on the day on the Apex account. Pretty close to break even. So let's look for one more entry. Going to probably end the stream today around 3:30. And let's look for one more entry, see what we get. Also, the fact that we rejected this area twice, you can see, we've kind of had a couple of rejections up here. I didn't want to leave too much on the table there. ES breaking through up to 96. Nasdaq is really lagging. I thought if we broke 95, it would really take the Nasdaq straight up into the 605 area, especially with all these relatively equal highs. You got 3 hanging out here. And then you got this next one up here at the 10. So you're going to have liquidity arrested above this 10 level. I'm going to certainly be drawn to that. I'm noticing now that my field, what it is, the fields are not showing on every chart. That's why I'm like, wait a second, my order's not on the chart. So earlier when I was putting those orders on the chart, they were there. I just didn't see them. So let's kind of analyze our trades here on the ES here. So we got long here at the 91. Pulled back to the 90. So never really would have been in the red 1 point if we held this through all this and the move up. But I didn't trust the trade. I think we might see 43.03 today, that area, possible on the ES. 43.05. I think there's a high from 9 months ago that's at 43.05 or something like that. 43.0475. So you would think that might be the liquidity that we're trying to run. All right. Nasdaq's trying to push above the 600 level here. I don't really want to jump in up here this high. Obviously, I like my entry off that breaker block. That's your ICT setup there. But I could have just pressed the button here manually, but we were 1 tick away from having an entry. And then, also here, missed that by 1 tick. Or you could have took a more aggressive entry off of the 15-minute fair value gap. But feels fine being down $11 on this account. This morning I was down $800 on this account, a little over $800. So to be back to $11, I'm okay with it. But that being said, I would like to get it to green, but we don't want to be losing $200 to try to make, $100 to get it to green or something like that. Do got a volume imbalance here on the 3-minute chart right there. If you can see that. Excuse me. It will usually repaint those volume imbalances. So typically you would have a pullback through that volume imbalance and then possibly move back up. So we could kind of watch that. I mean, sometimes the simplest strategies pay. I was like, just kind of give you an example of what I mean here. I don't always draw my trend lines because I don't really need them to see it. But, I mean, you put your trend line here. The break of the high of this candle here would be your entry, 86, 87 area. Never really in the red on that trade and complete move up. So sometimes just drawing simple trend lines are the best options. All right, we're breaking through 600 here. Man, I want to kind of just ride this to 605, to be honest. Not supposed to jump in here, but I don't see how we don't go. All right, we're gonna risk it here. We're gonna try to take a ride to 605 here. We may get punished for this. Stop's gonna be moved to break even pretty quick if we. Oh goodness. Oh, let's go. Gotta go. Gotta go here if it's gonna go. Pulling back. This is what I said I wasn't going to do. I'm trying to give it a little more room, which might be a bad idea, but let's see here. Just don't see how we don't go and clear out that liquidity. Oh, goodness. We are going to be punished here. All right. And there you have it. Do all the good stuff to get back to the even, or $10, $11 under, and then we do a stupid trade to get going. Jason, I'm up 566 on the other account, and then you can see I'm down 289 here. I was just down only $11, and I took this dumb entry at the top. I talked myself into it. Don't quite know why. I thought for sure there's no way it would leave that liquidity sitting there at 610, 605. We bounced off the EMA earlier, so possibly could bounce off the EMA here again. Let's take a look and see. Well, interesting. Kind of watching this area here. Trading back into that breaker block there. Going to take an entry here off this breaker block. I'm calling it a breaker block again. It's a order block. Stop's going to be at break even on one. Break even on the second one now. It's a riskier entry, so I don't want to keep the risk on for too long here. Just look for a push back up. Maybe 89, 90 area. All right, we're going to start trailing it up a little bit here as it goes. All right, just locked in a little bit there. I think the entry here is much better, but down 200 on it now. Like I said, it's a little bit riskier of an entry there, so just want to give it a second. Kind of had a market structure shift here to the downside. Might trade back into the fair value gap that we were looking for earlier. Man, I was down to $11 negative, and I took a boneheaded trade. That's what happens when you do that. Just kind of looking like we're hanging out in this range. We're not really breaking out. I mean, it's just kind of grinding. Same concept here. You could was thinking that thought that might have been a volume imbalance there. It's kind of chopping around at this point. Might look for one more trade If we lose on this next trade, we're going to probably be done, but let's see what we get. If we get anything. All right, let's continue watching, just see what happens here. See what price offers us. Those last two 15-minute candles, man, on the Nasdaq, they are looking pretty rough. Small body. Guess I should have held that long there a little longer, huh? In hindsight. Approaching the entry from earlier where we got burned for the $275 loss. I moved my stop down and actually lost more than I should have, but it's okay. I don't know if we're just thinking in a range here. Maybe short the 600 level. Sounds kind of crazy, but I could get a quick 10 points out of it. It'd be my luck as soon as you shorted it, it would break. It'd be the time that it breaks through there, right? All right, so kind of approaching that 600 level again. Let's see how it reacts there. See if the ES actually has enough momentum to break through that 4,300. ES approaching the 42.97 level here. See how this reacts here. What time is it? 3:17. I keep trying to get that pop through on NQ, and it keeps punishing me. So I don't know if I should keep doing that. Every time I get to that point. Every time it looks like it's going to break out, it just punishes me. So the thing is, shorting up here, it could easily just blow the top off this. I mean, you can ES could get through 4,300, and the next thing you know, Nasdaq could just be at 612, 615 pretty quickly there. All right, let's see here. Pulling back here, 42.95. Well, if this pulls back down again, we'll take another range long, just a range trade long, maybe for 10, 12 points, and see what we get there. Base in here at 42.96. So far up here, it's like difficult to take a trade. If we reject this 600 level, oh man, it's going to be tough to short it. Let's just watch it. I've tried to long that area, how many times? 1, 2. I've literally taken 3 longs for the breakthrough 600. 1 broke even. 1 I lost 170. 1 I lost 275. So just on this, trying to get this breakthrough alone, we're about $500 into it. So not gonna make that mistake again for the, I don't know, 4th time. So let's just wait, see what happens. It's like we're rejecting that area again. Like I said, I don't like shorting as much as I like longing. So like, looking at the range here, if we pull back, I feel much more comfortable taking a long down here for the move up than I do shorting the top of this range. So if we pull back, I feel better about taking a long, and that's probably what we'll do. Hey, Crypto Frad. I just started trading Apex a couple of days ago, so I'm still kind of learning all the nuances with it. But the main difference that I've noticed is going to be the trailing drawdown. Top Step has a static drawdown that is $2,000 on the 50K account. And so it follows you up or down. Well, it follows you up as you go. So it starts at 48,000. And once you get to 51, it moves to 49. Once you get to 52, it moves to 50. And then it stays at 50. We'll never go above 50. From what I understand with Apex, it's a $2,500 intraday trailing drawdown. And the main difference is if you have a trade that you're up $1,000 on with Apex and you don't take profit, say it comes back down and you take $100 in profit, your trailing drawdown goes up by 1,000. It goes up based on unrealized profit. That's the only negative thing that I found about it. So aside from that, there's not a huge difference in the two. Obviously, Top Step has a 2-step process to get funded. You have to make $3,000 in step 1, and then you start over in step 2 with a scaling where you can only use 2 contracts for the first $1,500. But other than that, there's not a huge difference in the two. The price, a lot of people harp on the price. Apex, you can obviously get a 50K account right now for 80% off, which is about $40 a month. And Top Steps is $165 originally, but then you can get a lot of 20% codes out there for that. Get it down to about the $130 area. So that's the main difference in the two. I don't mind the trailing drawdown. I think it's fine as long as the way I trade, if you've been watching it all, you can see that I tend to trail my stop up pretty tightly, too tightly anyway. So I'm not going to let a trade get out of hand. And if I'm up $1,000, I'm certainly not going to not take some sort of profit. So it's really all you got to do. I mean, if you're up $1,000, just lock in some profit. Don't let it get away from you too much there. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but as far as I know, the trailing drawdown, does that start over every day? Do you know? I think that does. Or let me look. I guess you can click on, from what I understand, if you're using, not that. Where's the balance at? Oh, I guess it's too far over. Can't see it. Okay, there it is. So you can click on this and it will show you somewhere. Hold on. Am I looking at it wrong? I thought that's where I was supposed to look. Or can I not see it? maybe can't see it. Let's see. That's not it. I don't know. I thought you could click on that and see your... Oh, I'm sorry. It's on equity. Duh. I was in the wrong spot. So you can see here, mine's at $22.71 today. So mine's, you know, of course, I'm down $200. But if you click on this, this is where it kind of shows you. I just figured that out this morning. So, all right, kind of getting a pullback here, which is basically what we were looking for here. Let's see. Possibly can get an entry. Pulling back hard here. So it follows you, but it doesn't restart. I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of what I was thinking. Getting a little pullback here, back to the bottom of the range. See if we can look for an entry. Pulls back into this 73 area. We're going to watch it closely here, though. Let it kind of start bouncing first, because it could potentially trade all the way back down into this lower fair value gap. So both ES and NQ are selling off here. Have you gotten funded yet on Apex Crypto Frad? I know a lot of people go for a bunch of funded accounts. I'm just trading one right now. I may go for like a second or a third with a copier maybe next week or something. All right, kind of holding up here in this level at the 80. Let's see here. Just kind of watching it. I'd like it to get a little bit lower here. Would prefer it to actually trade into that fair value gap, but I don't know that it's going to do that. We are approaching 330 here as well, though. All right, we'll try a little long here, see if we can't get a quick little move up. Maybe it's might get punished here. Might have got in a little too soon. I'll move my stop up here if we break 76 area. Well, actually, I should leave it down here in the 73 area now that I look. Because if it breaks the swing low, then we kind of don't want to be in. But let's see if it pops here. Again, we're going to move the stop here to break even pretty quickly because this is just a scalp play. So if it doesn't go, just kind of watching it here, see what happens. ES trying to pop back up as well, so. Kind of needs to go here quickly, or I may just kill it. Need a push here and now. All right, I think I'm probably going to kill it here. Yeah, we just chopped that one off. It's moving on down, so let's wait and see if it offers an entry. Okay, nice. So you're on the 150K account, 3K to go. Not bad. Sure, you'll get there. I've been a little more aggressive on this Apex account than I am on my Top Step account, just because it's $40, for a new one. So take some trades on this one that I probably wouldn't take otherwise. I know that's kind of a crazy reason, but I think I was up $1,300 yesterday, so you can see today I'm down $343 on this account. I'm up $566 on the Top Step today. So would like to get this account back to even before the end of the day here, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Looks like it might be traveling down to the fair value gap there. Possibly down at the 60s. Hesitant to short it because it's kind of been, bullish most of the day here. So don't really like taking a short above the VWAP. Kind of held that area all day. All right, well, we might get this trade back into the fair value gap here. It's like it's 65. I'm going to kind of watch price here and see what happens, though. Not just going to put my order on the book just because it could just blow right through there. Yeah, I'm not too concerned with the negative 345 crypto. It just one trade and can have that back. So let's see here as it approaches this gap. How is it going to react to that area? Is it going to blow right through there, or is it going to respect it? Let's see. Oh, bounced right off of it right there, huh? All right, let's see if it trades into this gap or not. Kind of touched it there, but didn't quite get into it. Bouncing out of there pretty hard, though. Trying to come back down to it now. Kind of regretting not having the order there at this point because usually the first test of it is the best, but that's all right. Got about 5 more minutes on the stream here, guys. Got some stuff I have to do this afternoon, so got to leave a little early. All right, let's see if we can get an entry here. If we can get back to this fair value gap. The green box down here to the bottom is a 15-minute fair value gap. For any of you just joined and was unaware what that was. Same thing on the ES. This is the 15-minute gap. That's a 3-minute gap. No. Well, I'd like for it to trade down into this gap so I could take an entry here, but so far it's not making it to it. Guys, if you haven't already, if you'd like and subscribe, helps the channel out. I appreciate it. It's really tempting to just go ahead and just take this entry here. Do like how it's holding up at this level. All right, we're just going to take the entry. If it pulls back down into the gap, we'll just add a second contract at that point. Kind of shoot for that 600 level, possibly. This is where my impatience kind of comes into play here. Oh, I'll take these headphones off. I'm not even listening to anything in them. I forgot. No point in having them on. Maybe get a push up here at the end of the day. Little end of the day Friday pump. See if we can get it. Need the ES to get above that SMA there. Bring us with it. Yeah, this is where I kind of struggle a little bit. Obviously, the entry would have been right there at 65. It did trade into that gap one tick. And I'd be up, 14 points right now. But instead, I'm taking the higher entry. Now I'm rethinking it. I'm rethinking this entry. It's not really going, so let's just be patient and wait and get out of that. Scratch that trade just for nothing. And let's just wait. See if it can pull back to where we're supposed to enter. Even if it goes without me, I'm okay with it. I want to get the proper entry. That's why I'm down $341 taking these entries I'm not supposed to. Yeah, you're right. It is ranging, but I don't know. I think I'd feel better about it if we get back above the 20 SMA. I just would like this thing to pull back to this gap here. We got a lot of support there below. So I'm thinking that was, that's where that'd be the better entry, but we are at 340 almost. So Not quite sure we're going to get a proper setup. It just may be more, price action. Starts to move up, just jump in and go with it. So, all right, starting to pump here a little bit. Pump out of it. We get above the 20 SMA. We can kind of target that 95, 97 area possible. ES is moving above the SMAs there as well. Kind of breaking out. It's been a little stronger than the Nasdaq today, which is kind of odd. Usually it's, kind of the other way around. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I enter trades all the time, and then I just like second guess myself. I was long there from the 79, move it up to 85, but that's all right. And this is kind of just a straight breakout. I mean, if you just draw a trend line here, I mean, this is just a straight breakout on the trend line. Should really be long at that 77, 78 area anyway. So it wouldn't be the worst entry. All right, now I'm about to talk myself back into it. Get a break above the SMA here, I'm going to take it. And I think I'm going to take it with 2 contracts. All right, let's go along. Hear my dog barking there. Let's try to get the 95 area. Might let one run a little higher than that. ES is trying to pump out of there. Gotta go. Dog's in there barking at something. Who knows what? Well, this thing's pulling back. Not liking that. Let's see here. What time we have here? 3:43. Start getting some of that afternoon volatility here in a few minutes. That might be what we're kind of seeing already here. I'm going to give this some more room. May end up regretting that, but let's see. I actually probably should give it a little more room than that. If we really think this might be bullish here at the end of the day. That's not what we wanted to see. All right, let's see here. I'm going to give this a little more room because we got that bullish fair value gap there. I don't want to shortchange it here. Well, just watching it here, see what happens. Max hush. If we kind of break this swing low here, then I'll probably kill the trade for a pretty big loss. I'm trying to give it the room it needs to breathe a little bit here to maybe make this move up to the end of the 600 level at the end of the day. All right, we're about 4 minutes away from that 350 algo that kicks in. I'd like to be up into the green by then. Maybe we can put the stop at break even at that point. Reduce the risk here. All right, you're going to move the stop up to the 72. Sorry about the dog. He's barking at something. I don't know what it is. I'm going to move the stop up here to the 72.50 area. I'm actually going to move it back a little bit. Might give it a little more room here if it starts pulling back. I don't want to have a humongous loss here at the end of the day, so this would already be probably $500. Got about 3 minutes to 50 after. All right, I'm going to move this back down. Let's give it some room. Really think that when this algorithm kicks off, we will should get a big push up. That's what I'm thinking. But we could also get a big push down, so... About 2 minutes to 350. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Moving back up to my entry here. Minute and a half away from this algorithm kicking in. Now I probably am going to go ahead and reduce the risk here. If it pulls back to the 75 level, then that's what we're going to risk. So would like to have the stop at break even, but can't put it there yet. There we go. Now we can put it there. See if the algorithm can, well, didn't push us up, but we got out too soon there. Probably moved it up a little too fast, but it is not, it's not even 350 yet. We're getting a little pump up. I was in that pretty deep with two contracts. So let's see what happens here at the 350 mark. Yeah, Jackson, I know. Tough. Took a lot of drawdown on that trade to just only get $70 or $65 or whatever, but sometimes that's how it goes. Let's see what happens here at this algorithm at 350. Probably will offer us an entry. Kind of like to be in the trade at 350. That way you're not really, guessing. It's just either going to go your way or it's not. And that was not my way. So it's a good thing that I got out of that trade. This dog just will not quit barking. All right, well, that was kind of uneventful. It did push down. So we may get a bit of a retracement here at the end of the day. That's kind of, usually gives you an idea of what we're looking at. But who really knows? Looking back here, in hindsight, everything's so clear in hindsight. This would have been my entry. I talked about not knowing if it would respect this gap, so I didn't want to put my order on the book there for that gap, and that would have been a nice trade, 65 to 89. But that's all right. You're not going to hit them all. Down 282, I'm okay with that. Maybe we get a scalp or two here at the end of the day in the next 8.5 minutes. We'll get on the right side of a scalp or two and get back to even. But if not, I'm completely fine with being down this much for the day. Still up $1,000 on the account. So only the second day trading it. Well, let's see what happens. Let's give it time. All right, staying below the 20 SMA here on both the Nasdaq and the ES. ES holding up at that 90 level. Just not having the power to push through here at the end of the day so far. Actually, if you look at the 15-minute chart, we've been trading in this range since 11 a.m. We can switch over to the 15-minute chart right quick, show you what I'm talking about. I mean, you can literally just draw a box in this range. 11 a.m. You literally just buy the bottom, sell the top. Buy the bottom, well, almost sell the top. Seems easy enough, but in hindsight, everything looks better than it actually is. Look at these wicks. Just very wicky action. No real direction here. Trying to pump up here at the end of the day. I should just listen to what I say. Is that right, Jackson? Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to this stuff. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm supposed to do, but my fingers say otherwise sometimes. They make their own decisions. They say, press the button. Just like this right here is frustrating because I was in this trade looking for this move up. Of course, it's not back to my entry yet, but looking like we might get the pump through 600 by the end of the day. I was thinking we would see 4,300 today on the ES for sure. It might just be waiting for the market to close for it to go ahead and clear out that area, but you never know. Yeah, Jackson, though, if I listened to what I said and what I thought every day, man, I'd be rich already. But since I don't listen, I'm not. So, all right, coming up on 355 here. Every dip has literally been bought up. I mean, you can see every dip has been bought up, but just trying to position myself for an entry that's not going to cost me money. All right, let's see what happens at 55 after here. I feel like we're going to get a pump, but I felt like that all afternoon, and it just hasn't happened. Pulling back down into the bottom of the range again. ES still holding up at 90. ES staying in about a 4-point range, 90 to 94. 89.50 to 94.50, somewhere in there. You guys might get to see some action here at the last minute of the day. Maybe we can, maybe we'll jump in for a little last minute of the day scalp. If we can get in on the right side of one of those, is the question. If we get in on the wrong side, we're going to lose $200 more. So, might be the difference between a break-even day and a $500, $500 loser. Whether or not we can get in on the right side. So let's just watch it and see. Got about 2 minutes left. 3 minutes, I'm sorry. Wait a second. Is that right? Yeah, 3 minutes left. I don't know what I was looking at. All right, pulling back to the bottom of the range here, which would lead me to believe, just based on what's been going on today, that maybe we move up. Jackson, a scalp is just meaning I'm in and out very quickly, taking small profit. So that's essentially what I do every day. A 10 or 15 point move is a scalp. I'm not holding the trades for, a long time or anything like that. So we're just scalping. All right, we're going to start getting this volatility here in 1 minute. When I am trading this last minute of the day here, I'd like to use the 1 minute chart. Kind of give me a little more. It's a little messier, but give me a little more information. All right, you can start counting it down now. 15 seconds. And let's just watch it. See what happens here. ES kind of dipped down there to 88. All right, we're going to take the short here. Stop will be moved to break even pretty fast. If we can. inconsequential there. Move the stop to break even as quickly as I could because, you kind of have to do that. And that's it. So we finished the day down 285. Didn't really get the move up or down there in the last minute that I was thinking. Tried the short for the break of, kind of for the break of this low. I was anticipating the break of that low. And was in the green for a moment there, but not very much. Now it's trying to pump up. Now, I don't know Apex's rules about what time you have to stop trading. I know on Top Step you can trade until 4:08. Yeah, Crypto Frat. I have way more screens than I like to admit. We have 3 vertical monitors, 2 32-inch, and then 2 27-inch monitors. One is horizontal for my streaming, and then the other 3 are vertical. So I got 12 charts pulled up at one time. Well, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 11 charts pulled up at one time. I also watched the dollar. So yeah, I watched the dollar there as well. But Crypto Fred, do you know what the stop time is for Apex? It's 4:59. Okay. Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, sometimes you get a move after the market close, Kind of moving up now, huh? Trying to break that SMA. Yeah, the strange thing is the ES is not really moving up. Nasdaq is moving up on its own here, as you can see there. I was thinking we'd get that pump up to the 600 earlier. I tried it multiple times. You can see there, bought the top. Tried it here. Or there. That was, I bought long here. Break even here. 200 profit there. 275 loser there. Really overtraded today, but it's okay. It happens. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up. Well, I was like, this looks interesting. If you don't, they close it for you. It's a safety thing. Shouldn't be relied on. Yeah, true. Yeah, Top Step does that too, but they close your trade at 4:09. They automatically close it at 4:09. Which is, the thing about it is after hours, a lot of times you'll have earnings come out at 4 p.m. or 4:05, and we'll have a huge move up, and then I can't participate on Top Step. But looks like if you're saying 4:59 on Apex, then we can certainly participate then. So we can throw that as another thing into the positive column for Apex. I'm indifferent to both. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been trading Top Step here for a little while, but Apex seems fine. I don't mind the trailing drawdown. In fact, since we had a losing day, let's take a look at that trailing drawdown right quick. If I can get back to it. I didn't want to drag this one over that one, but I guess I'll have to. I clicked the wrong thing again. Here it is. So yeah, 2,186. So I guess that makes sense since I'm down 285. That would make the most sense there. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Appreciate you guys watching. Just remember to like the video, subscribe. I'm live every day from 9:15 a.m., 9:20 a.m. till 11 a.m. Next week, I'm going to try to stream a little longer. I may stream all day. And I trade the afternoon as well from 2 until 4. Also have some videos on my channel, about some of the things, some of the setups that I trade. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks a lot.